Welcome to Shree Magical Story.
Imagine a perfectly sunny, clear morning. Now imagine one boy walking through the center of it, drenched by his own personal, relentless rain column. If anyone tries to step into that rain, like a crow attempting to steal a snack, the cloud defends its perimeter, blasting the intruder away. This isn't happening in isolation. The surrounding region is in the grip of a severe drought. Local agriculture is failing, the soil is cracking, and the village wells are empty. This map shows the strict logic of the anomaly. There is a rigid, unmoving 3-foot boundary around the boy. Inside the circle, his head and shoulders take a steady downpour. His books, his bag, and the parched world outside that exact radius stay dry. While a personal water supply during a drought looks like a gift, the physics of this cloud make it an impenetrable barrier. It keeps the boy physically separated and entirely isolated from a world that needs that water. The boy cannot outrun the anomaly. When he hops on a bicycle to break the perimeter, the cloud stretches into an oval, accelerating rapidly to maintain its exact coordinates directly overhead as he pedals faster. The village elders even tried to use the boy to irrigate the failing crops, having him walk systematically through the parched fields. The water stayed locked onto the boy. Deception fails too. When that same clever crow wears a disguise to sneak into the drop zone for a bath, the cloud recognizes the trick, tightens its focus, and rains harder on the boy alone. While the boy pauses to figure out his next move, take a second to hit subscribe. We release new stories every single day. The evidence is clear. This boundary ignores standard physics. Neither extreme speed nor clever proximity can force the rain to spread. Frustrated, the boy marches to the highest point in the village. He looks directly up at the massive vapor and demands to know why it refuses to rain on anyone else. The cloud reacts to his anger by producing distinct, heavy tears that mix into the rainfall. The texture of the water softens. The entity is operating on an emotional state, not an atmospheric one. Seeing this, the boy reaches his hand up. The moment his fingertips brush the edge of the vapor, the rain stops. The entire sky goes still. This isn't a stubborn weather event. It's a lonely entity. It responds to empathy, not force. A village elder arrives on the hill. She explains that following clouds are drawn to warm hearts, but they can become trapped by their own history. This visualization maps the constraint, a closed binary loop. The single source node is locked on to one receiver, ignoring the surrounding disconnected nodes. To fix this, the boy acts as a routing hub. He bridges the gap, introducing the isolated entity to all dormant connections. The boy agrees. He gently pats the cloud to confirm. The entity stops raining and glows with a bright, warm white light, signaling that it has accepted the new connection protocol. To save the village, the individual must voluntarily surrender his micro-isolation and act as the communal bridge. The next morning, the boy stands in the center of the village square. He calls out to his friends, his teacher, and the elder, and they form a physical circle around him with their arms open. The cloud hovers above the group. It scans from face to face, taking in the open postures and confirming multiple valid connection points. The rigid 3-foot boundary finally breaks. The rain ripples outward in concentric, multicolored circles, scaling up from the boy to the gathered crowd, and eventually overriding the entire map of the parched village. The environmental impact is immediate. As the heavy cascade of rainbow water hits the soil, the dry, wilted crops spring upward, turning a healthy green. Opening an isolated system multiplies the output. What began as a singular burden transforms into system-wide abundance. Down in the square, the boy looks up at his cloud. The sadness in the cloud's eyes is gone. They share a look of mutual gratitude. Because the boundary expanded, the benefits reach everyone. Even the crow, watching from a distance, gets soaked by the rain and happily settles in to eat a stolen sandwich. Isolation ends and abundance begins the moment you invite others into your circle of warmth. We want to hear from you. Would you want a cloud that follows only you? If you had your own cloud, what would you want it to do? And have you ever helped someone feel less lonely? Let us know in the comments.